Hey everybody, my name is Nick Christopher and I'm your race director for this year's Cairns Airport IRONMAN Cairns Asia Pacific Championships. Today we're going to take a little bit of time. We're going to run through what you guys can expect at this year's event. No doubt a lot of things have changed in our lives recently, but we're here to give you a bit of an overview on what you can expect when you do come to site for this year's event. So as I said, we're going to go through a bit of a race director update here, few key race updates, touch on our COVID safe operations, review some of the venue changes, course changes, help you understand the gear bags, touch on our shuttle buses, very important, give a few shout outs and summarize what we've learned here today and go from there. With that in mind, I just want to remind you guys that the athlete information guide is going to be your source of truth. At any point, if you have questions or need more details on anything that we're going to cover in this presentation today, we're going to ask that you refer back to that athlete information guide. It has a lot more detail in it than what we're able to cover here. So again, use that guide as your go-to source of information for this year's event. If you have any other additional questions, reach out to us on Facebook. We're there to help answer those questions and hopefully see you guys come across that finish line in one piece. Few major updates for you guys this year, different to last year and different to years prior. We will have scheduled check-in and bike racking times. You'll be receiving the email with those. Make sure to check your emails and sign up for those specific times. It's very important that we do that in order to kind of control the flow of people in and out of specific athlete areas only. So keep an eye on your emails and make sure that you do action those items pretty quickly. For this year, a change to the Ironman swim course. We are going to be having a 2-lap swim course, and we're also going to be starting the Ironman athletes prior to the 70.3 athletes. So your start time will be 6:30 a.m. this go around. The bike course has also changed. It is now a 3-lap course, not a full 3-lap course. The northern section is 3 laps, so we'll go into a little bit more detail about that here shortly. Run. Same as it has been, 4 laps around the run course in the Cairns CBD along the Esplanade and the boardwalk areas. But this year you're going to be running in a clockwise direction. Again, we'll go through a little bit more detail when we get to the run section, but those are just a few major changes that we have made to this year's event. In regards to all of our COVID safe operations, this year's event will be operating under an approved COVID safe health plan, an event plan, and we ask that we all follow the rules. We're all used to socially distancing and giving each other a little bit more time to get to certain areas and sanitizing our hands more often than we normally have in the past, but we're going to ask you to continue those good practices that we've built up, especially while we're on site. These are non-negotiables. We're going to ask that you adhere to this at all times. It's a very important part of the race, and it helps ensure that we're able to keep everybody safe and healthy while you're up in Cairns for this year's event. So again, follow the rules to help keep everyone safe. Practice that social distancing not only in the athlete areas, but when you're out and about in the cities as well. Wash your hands regularly. There'll be plenty of hand sanitizers and hand wash basins for you to access throughout your time on our venues. And if you're unwell, stay home. All right, moving on into the venue. Something specific about Cairns. We have 2 venues for this event. One of which is in Cairns and the other one which is in Palm Cove. Cairns venue will be the first venue that you guys will interact with as it's the main hub for a lot of things going on pre-race. So up in the Western Event Salon, we have the check-in. Down here at Fogarty Park, we have Transition 2, which you'll come into after you get off of your bikes, and that's where you start your run. We also have our finish line precinct, where our post-race recovery is, as well as our gear tents for you guys to pick up your gear bags at the end of the race. Merchandise is located down here as well, and anytime throughout the event week, if you have any questions or need further information on anything, come on, head over to the information in Western Event Salon as well. Now, moving on to our second venue. This is the venue that you guys will be at for your swim start, as well as where you will rack your bikes. We are in Palm Cove, up in the Goldfinch Car Park, as well as the Palm Cove Caravan Park up there. This is the location, as I said, for swim start, your gear bag drops, as well as your special need drops. You can see these located on your venue maps here, and more detail on that can be found in that athlete information guide. All right, moving on into the courses, we'll give you a rundown on what you guys can expect across the swim, the bike, and the run. As I mentioned earlier, the swim course has changed for the Ironman event. This year, you guys will be completing 2 laps of a swim course. As you can see, the first swim course is designated by the green line. You will come out of the swim start, make your way down to the magenta turn buoys, heading back towards the swim start, where you will then complete your second lap. And on the second lap, you will follow the purple line here, making the turn at the yellow buoys on that second lap, before then making your way out to the swim exit. We will have rolling starts again this year, as we have had in previous years. 4 different speed zones, so please seed yourself based on your abilities. And again, we'll have a 6:30 a.m. pro male start, followed by the age groupers shortly thereafter. Again, don't forget 2 laps. First lap, pink buoys, second lap, yellow buoys. Moving on to the bike course. The bike course has changed from previous years. This year, exiting out of Palm Cove, you will make your way directly onto the Captain Cook Highway. Full closure along the Captain Cook Highway, but we ask that you still abide by normal road rules. Keep to the left, stay in the left-hand lanes at all time. Treat it as if you are already on a road. The new northern turnaround isn't as far north as it has been in previous years. So make note of that when you're taking a look at the course maps here. And as I mentioned before, 3 laps. That's not 3 full laps of the bike course, but what that means is there's 3 laps between this northern turnaround point and the southern turnaround point, which is located between Thala Beach up north and Ellis Beach down south. Ironman athletes will be required to complete 3 full laps of that northern section before making their way back down past Yorkeys Knob, past the airport, and back into the Cairns CBD, where you ultimately end up at Transition 2. Special needs this year will be located at Rex Lookout. Fantastic vantage point along the course. No harm in stopping there if you absolutely need it. Again, we're asking that you guys will be a little bit more self-sufficient than you have been in the previous years. So please take an opportunity to use those special needs bags, which will be located at Rex's Lookout. That can be accessed for Ironman athletes on all 3 laps of that northern section. And again, that will be on the southbound lanes of travel as you are making your way back towards Ellis Beach. All right, then onto the run course. The run course footprint itself remains relatively unchanged with the exception of the direction of travel. So this year, athletes will be running in a clockwise direction, exiting out of Transition 2 in Fogarty Park, immediately onto the Esplanade, running along the Esplanade north, up past the hospital, up past the playgrounds and the hockey fields, all the way up to the northern turnaround, which is just before Airport Ave. At this point, once you've reached the northern turnaround, you make your way back towards the finish line precinct, head through the spine, down along the boardwalk. You take a pass over by Hemingway's Brewery, great place to catch a beer after the race. Back to the finish line precinct, where you'll then start your second lap. Your second lap this year will start at the run exit of Transition 2. Don't worry, we'll have the course fully marked. Make sure to follow the directional signage to ensure that you start that second lap in the correct location. After starting your second lap, you'll then complete another second lap, a third lap, and a fourth lap. After you've made your way back to the finish line area on that 4th lap, you will take a left-hand turn and then another left-hand turn to cross the finish line and receive your finisher medal and your towel. Special needs for this year's event is located near the Lily Street aid station on the southbound side, or in the southbound direction, of travel. That can be accessed across all laps. At the aid stations, we'll have Winners Sports Nutrition, pure electrolyte hydration, as well as Red Bull, water, and a few other things for you as well. Again, we ask that you be as self-sufficient as possible. Give a shout out to all the volunteers who have volunteered their time to help and get you guys to this point. It goes a long way when they're out there cheering you guys on and helping you stay hydrated and fed. Now for a little bit more detail regarding T1 in Palm Cove, just going over the race flow. As you can see, you'll come out of the swim exit just near the northern end of Palm Cove. You'll be following the red line, heading up into the Goldfinch Car Park. Once you get into transition 1, there will be a separation between the female chain or the female transition space as well as the male transition space. That will be clearly marked and designated, so there will be a separation there. But plenty of space for socially distancing within that transition area. Be mindful of the people around you. Give each other a little bit of extra time if we need it. We're all here to have a good time, and let's just remember that things are a little bit different, and we're all here to have some fun. Once you're done in transition, you will then continue following the red line back down onto Williams Esplanade, where you then start your journey out on the bike. Now taking a look real briefly at T2 in Fogarty Park. T2 in Fogarty Park will see you come off of your bike from the Esplanade into the nice big open park of Fogarty. Again, following the blue lines into your transition racks. Again, there will be that separation between the female and the male side of transition. Just be mindful of the signage. We'll have plenty of people there to help direct you in the right spot. After that, you link up with the red line there as indicated on the map, at which point you'll start your run. Something that we ask within the transitions is just keep moving, as we mentioned before. Try not to congregate with people, and just be respectful of everybody's space within that transition area, please. All right, Cairns is very unique in the fact that you'll have plenty of gear bags along with you. We understand the complexities behind a split transition venue, and therefore we've done what we can to help you succeed across the course of the event day. And therefore you will be receiving a street gear bag, special needs bags which can be purchased before the race, a bike gear bag, and a run gear bag. So your street gear bag has all the stuff that you don't need on race day, but you happen to take up with you on race morning. Might be a little bit chilly, an extra pair of socks or whatever it might be. That street gear bag needs to be dropped as you exit T1 on your way to the swim start. You can collect that after you exit the recovery area. Your special needs, same thing. You're going to drop that prior to your swim start along Williams Esplanade in Palm Cove, and then you can collect that from T2, from transition 2, on the Monday after the event. Your swim gear, there's not a specific bag for your swim gear, but any swim gear that you take off, we ask that you put that gear into the blue bike transition bag that you've already placed at your rack in T1 on the Saturday or the Sunday morning. That bike gear needs to be left in T1, either Saturday or Sunday, first up in the morning, and you can collect that post-finish after you've exited the recovery area. Run gear, you're going to leave the run gear bag, anything you might need on your run, shoes, extra pair of socks, maybe a jumper if you're going to be out late running. Leave that in your run gear bag, which can be dropped at T2 on Saturday. You will not have access to transition 2 on Saturday, so do not expect to be able to drop that red run bag on Saturday. Again, you can collect that from transition 2 after the race when you pick up your bike from transition 2. Another unique opportunity we have in Cairns is the shuttle bus. Again, with the 2 split transitions, we need to find ways to get you guys from point A to point B. With that being said, Down Under Tours, a local operator up there, fantastic shuttle bus tour operators, will be operating for you on the Saturday as well as the Sunday. Saturday will be from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. This will allow you an opportunity to get up to Palm Cove without the need to take your own vehicle. Parking is limited up in Palm Cove. For those of you that know the area, and you have a secret parking spot up there, by all means, that's okay, but we encourage you to take advantage of the shuttle bus service. The shuttle bus service for the Saturday is $10 return and can be booked at the Down Under Tours website, information on the athlete guide. Sunday, race morning, athlete-specific shuttles. Ironman athletes will have their own shuttles. You won't have to worry about other people on the shuttle. It's specifically for the Ironman athletes. Those will be running from 4 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. and that is a service that we are providing to you guys free of charge. Again, more information in the athlete guide. Take a look at it, book your shuttles, and definitely take advantage of that. All right. With everything said so far, time to take a little bit of an opportunity to give a bit of a shout out to some of our operational partners. Obviously, big thanks to Tourism Events Queensland, Cairns Regional Council and Douglas Shire Council, as well as Tourism Tropical North Queensland, Department of Transport and Main Roads, Queensland Police Services, Queensland Ambulance Service, Queensland Fire and Rescue, as well as Surf Life Saving North Queensland. And in summary, I just want to remind everybody again, be safe, be smart, give each other extra time in and out of the transition areas. Remember those COVID safe measures. We're all excited to get together, to have some fun, and to see each other cross that finish line, but let's do so in a safe and appropriate manner to ensure that we can continue coming back to Cairns to enjoy races for years to come. Looking forward to seeing you guys out there and hope to see you at the finish line.